Hi Sir March, good evening. By the way, my name is Camilo C. Musala Jr. from Bachelor of Science Entrepreneurship second year. And this is my topic, Chapter 7. Title is Market Efficiency. Um, okay, Zoom, para mas maklaro. So, let's start. Consumer surplus and producers surplus are the basic tools that um, econo- wait, economic use to study the welfare of buyers and sellers in a market. This tool can help us address fundamental economic questions. Is the allocation of resources determined by free markets desirables? Para mas masabtan nato ang surplus, this is sobra. Kaning surplus is ginatawag ni siya og sobra sa imong expenses. For example, sa imong mga puhunan, sa imong ipang sa imong materials. Una sa gitawag na surplus, no? So, consumer surplus is kanang nakaipalit nga for example, palit ko og kanang charcoal. Instead, ang expectation ato nga price is ang yang set is tag 500 pero ang gigon sa producer ang sa namaligya is tag 300 lang. So na ako'y surplus nga 200. So dire na punta sa benevolent, no? The benevolent social planner to evaluate market outcomes. We introduce into our analysis a new hypothetical characters called on the benevolent social planners. So I searched in the Google what the meaning of benevolent, awain, no, maluluyon. Na there's uh, uh, producers or buyers. No, producers o namaligya sellers na kinaiya ethics of benevolent, no? For example, nag-base sila um, sa ilahang kita, no? Kung mamaligya for example, maligya ko isda, nanuroy ko, and then ang ako ang suroy sa isda is tag 180 ang kilo, and ang iyang kwarta is 150. So ako ang ipahan siya og 20 pesos. It is because naa kay kinaiyang nga benevolent, no? And the benevolent social planners is an all-knowing, no? All-powerful and intentional dictators. So kung kung nakakaani ang kinaiya, daghan kay og mga buyers o mga consumers nga mukuan diha kanimo mas mutabang ni siya para mahimo kang known, no? Mahimo kang known nga mamaligya. So let's continue. The planner want to maximize the economic well-being of everyone in society. What should these planners do? Should he just leave buyers and sellers that equilibriums that they reach naturally on their own, no? Or can increase economic well-being by altering the market outcomes in some way, no? Sa akong giingon nga sa iyang pamaagi para mas mataas ang iyang mga buyers, mas mataas ang iyang kita, reason nag-adapt og benevolent, no? Maluluyan nga tao kung dili maligya ka is di ka mag-adjust, no? Di ka mag-adjust porket this mo na imong target, no? Ang target nga imong firm mo na imong target, and then wala kay ani nga oral ethics that, no? Wala kay ani nga so diha kining benevolent makatabang nimo para mo increase ang imuhang mga buyers. So let's proceed, no? To better understand this measure of economics well-being, recall how we measure consumers and producers surplus. We define consumer surplus as, no? So let's proceed a formula on that case, no? Consumer surplus minus value to buyers, um, minus amount paid by buyers, no? Consumer surplus minus, again, consumer surplus minus value buyers and minus amount paid by buyers. So similarly, we define producer surplus as uh, another formula. Producer surplus minus amount received rather by sellers minus cost to sellers. When we add a consumer and producer surplus together, we obtain, so another formula again, total surplus minus minus value to buyers minus amount paid by buyers plus amount received by sellers minus cost to sellers. No? And that's all of the formula of market efficiency and formula of the surplus. No? Below they are a surplus, they are consumers, buyers, other, etc. Cost to sellers. Yeah. And let's proceed. No? The amount paid by buyers equals the amount received by sellers. That middle two terms in the expression cancel each other. As a result, we can rise total surplus as, yeah, daghan o kining situation panghitabo nga na ma-cancel, no? For example, ibutan na to, nagkwanta og Kabaw, another example na po, na ako'y Kabaw, Baligya, and then, mubuhi ko og usa ka price nga ilang apason. For example, mubuhi ka og ang akong Kabaw, Baligya, estimate lang is 40, and then mo apas og 50. And then, ay nagkuan nimo nagsaad sa imo nga mapalit na 35. So instead, cancel gid mo 35 kay didto kamo kuan sa expected nga sa imo ang itong mas labaw ko tong 50k. Oh. So mao na example. And let's proceed, no? Sa kuan direkta sa formula sa total surplus minus value to buyers cost to sellers. No, sorry, pero di ta ka example kay i-discuss lang na ako ni, pero sabotable naman gini. Kay ginom ko ni sa na-report naman ni sa past reporters. So let's continue. Total surplus in a market is the total value to buyers of the goods as measured by their willingness to pay minus the total cost sellers and providing those goods. It allocation of resources maximize total surplus. We say that allocations inhabit efficiency in allocation is not efficient, then some of the potential gains from trade among buyers and sellers are not being realized. For example, an allocation is inefficient if a good is not being produced by the sellers with with low allocation is inefficient if a good is not being produced by the sellers with lowest cost. Lowest cost now. And in this case, moving production from the high cost produced to low cost producer will lower the total cost the seller and rise the surplus similarly. Mo to ang example ani, ang example ani katong lagi sa Kabaw, no. Maligya ka Kabaw nga mo maligya ka og mo estimate ka og price uh, 40 and then mo apas og 50, then nagsaad po og 45, and katong pinakaubos is 35, and 35 kay ana nag-base mo na nakaingon og 35. It is because naka-base po na sa imong ibaligya, kaya nakakita sila si niwang ana din ang uban kay tan-awon katong naka-expect nga ang ilang mahatag sila kwarta na ilang paliton o 50 is because naglantaw sila sa fiscal, no? Fiscal. And basin pod ang katong 35 it's other example pod basin pod but if layo and ilang ikwinta ang katong ilang expenses, for example layo and then sudlunon, so diha sila magko sa ilahang kwan ilang itong kanang ang ilang i-deduct na that's why 35k ang ilang kwan nato nga kwan, example lang. So ikaw na to ang efficiency, no? Meanings efficiency at may zoom. Efficiency, the property of measure allocation of maximizing the total surplus received by all members of society. Take note, again, the efficiency meaning the property of a measure, a resource allocation of maximizing the total surplus received by all members of society. Now let's proceed. Meaning of equality. Equality, no, is the sabotable lang. But ato ang ihatag ng meaning, the property of distributing economic prosperity uniformly among the members of society. No? And let's proceed to evaluating market equilibrium. The figure 7 shows consumers and producers surplus when a market reaches the equilibrium of supply and demand, no? Tunga-tunga sa imuhang demand o sa imong supply. Recall the consumer surplus equals to the area above the price and under the demand curve, and producer surplus surplus equals the area above the price and under the demand curve, and producer surplus equal the area below the price and above the supply curve. That's why I say mag-base po sila nga basin nagkuhan sila ng price kay nagbase po sila sa area, and load the total area between the supply and demand curve up to the point of equilibrium represent the total surplus in this market. Yeah. In the equilibrium allocation of resources, efficiency that is thus is maximize total surplus. To answer the question, recall wait gagmay mo kayo gani wait wala ko those those buyers who values the good more than the price represented by the segment and demand curve choose by the to buy the good, buyers who values is less than the price represented by the segment. Not similarly, those seller whose so money ang graph sa evaluating the market equilibrium, no? Consumer and producer surplus in the market equilibrium. Total surplus rather, the sum of consumer and producer surplus is the area between the supply and demand curve up to the equilibrium equality. So, let's proceed to the graph. No? Sa A, nakita niyo dire ang A na ay fries. And then, A nga apple, dire sa B, mo ang sa lower part, on dire ang B, na ang demand. Demand. Mao na ang blue line. So, kung mabantay ninyo is pangat. Kaya mas taas ang price kaysa demand. No? And then, dire na sa red line. Dire sa C. No? C is mao ni ang katong sa price. Siyempre, masugod sa 0. No? And then, ang D is mao na ang supply. So, kung atong masabtan, no, let's understand in this example of graph, This blue line is an percent nga ang imong price is imong upward mo imong demand, no? Upward imong demand kay mas kuan man ang imong price, taas pan sa imong sa supply, kumbaga kanang bawi na say surplus kay mas dako ang ginansya. And then kaning triangle corner sa babaw kaning consumer surplus mao ni ang imong halin, no? O imong ginansya. Dayon ang producer surplus mao ni dire ang ubos sa C. Dayon mamantay na to equilibrium is dire sa tunga, no, A. Kay dire nagtagbo ang equilibrium price o equilibrium quantity. Unda masabtan ra ang akong discussion. And let's proceed, no? Another graph. But before that proceed another graph, let's read I read some thoughts. So let's proceed. Wait, sorry. Yeah. Costs are less than the price represented in the segment on the supply curve. Choose the produce and sell the goods sellers whose costs the greater than price represented by the segment. Do not this observation lead to the insight of the market outcomes. 1. Free markets allocate the supply of goods to the buyers who value them most highly as a measure by their willingness to pay. No? Kung pan, kung, kung makita niya nga ang iyang budget sa iyang kwarta kay go para sa iyang mga demand, sa iyang mga palitunon, no, is make sure to their willingness to pay mo palit yun siya always kay bukod sa kanang abot sa iyang bulsa iyang demand, no, abot sa bulsa iyang demand, so walay pagduduwa nga mo palit gawas kung kulangan ang imong kwarta. So sa second is free markets allocate to the demand for goods to the sellers who can produce them at the less cost. And second, the other idea, thus given the quality produced and solid in the market equilibrium, the planner, yeah, social planner, and cannot increase economic well-being by changing the allocation of consumption among buyers, the allocation of production among sellers, but can the social planner raise total economic well-being by increasing or decreasing the quantity of the good? No? And the answer is no. Yeah, state in the third insight about market consumers. At 3, free market produce quantity of goods that maximize the sum of consumers and producers surplus. Say, I explained the number 2. This free market allocate the demand and the good seller who provide them the less cost. Okay naman sa tanan no? Pero dahil lang tapos sa 3. Free markets produce quantity goods maximize the sum consumption produce surplus. Figure illustrate who with the true interpret their figure keep in mind and the demand curves reflect the value of to buyers and the supply curve reflects the cost to sellers. At any quantity below the equilibrium level such as Q3, the value to the marginal buyers exceed the cost to the marginal sellers. As a result, increasing the quantity produced and consumed rise total surplus. This continues to be true until the quantity reaches the equilibrium level. Similarly, rather, uh, at any quantity beyond the equilibrium level just as Q2, the value to the marginal buyers as less than the. Let's proceed to another graph. But before that, I read this, the efficiency of the equilibrium quantity. The quantity is less than the equilibrium quantity just as Q1, the value to buyers, and exceed the cost to sales are at quantities greater than the equilibrium quantity such as Q2 goes to seller exceed the value to buyers. Therefore, the market equilibrium maximizes the sum of producer and consumer surplus. So let's proceed. The second graph. No? Kung makita ninyo ang first o second, ay kalainan pero sa blue line, more gyapon no? Paangat gyapon na, ang price is nasa babaw, ang demand is nasa ubos. And same lang gyapon pud sa red line. Ang supply is nasa babaw, and then ang price is na tungod man sa price, that's why ang tumoy pud sa red line is nasa yellow, but mabaw lang. So, kung makita nyo ang R line na pataas, mo na din nag-focus o Q2. And this is the red line, remember, cost to the sellers. No? Pataas siya kay kuan man. Kung kuan man sa pagbaligya niya is kanang dako man siya og ginansa halin kung daghan siya og buyers, no, ang sellers. So value to the buyers is blue is mas taas, no, mas taas kay gi-grab man nila ang katong kuan ay kumbaga kanang tong kuan sila dako ka sila og kanang si tawag na kanang kwarta sa ilang demand masobra baka dako sila surplus, that's why kung kuan gamay ra og kanang hanyo-hanyo, so that's why ang kanang blue line mas kuan ang price kay ang price mas kanang kuan nila ang price mas afford nila ang ilang gipalit. So diri na punta sa cost to the sellers, baliktad no, baliktad no, ang sa cost of sellers po that is babaw is ang supply na po nila is dili po nila ma-afford kay tungod ang ilahang gibaligya is nakuan pud og puro hanyo. Tapos sabtan lang ninyo, diyan na mo na sila nag-abot ra, nag-abot this to nga no, cross line. That's why diha ang equilibrium quantity, no. And then 0 to the center, the value to the buyers is greater than cost to the seller, no? And the right side, value to the buyers is less than cost to sellers. And let's proceed the last part, no? Last part na. Cost to the marginal sellers in this case decreasing the quantity raised the surplus discontinues to the vol in quantity holds in equilibrium level. So di na kinakop sa ng tanan kay taas, medyo taas na. Basta ang remember guys, basta ang surplus is maog na ang kuan sa imong sobra, sa imong sobra sa imong sa imong anang ikuanan sa imong expenses sa kumbaga kung another example kung palit kag kuan ba puhunan ba sobra nga imong gikuan ng puhunan kanang sa imong pampalit og ingredients instead nga 1.5 pero ang imong ingredients nga gusto nimong kuanon sa imong product is less lang, so mao ang katong sobra mo na ang surplus tama sabtaro ninyo. And diri na punta sa last kay medyo taas na gyud kay 24 minutes na. And should there let's proceed now. Should there be a market in organs, no? On April 12, 2001, the front page of the Box Globe and headline how mother love helped save two lives in the newspaper told the story of Susan Stephen, a woman whose son needed a kidney transplant. And when the doctors learned that the mother's kidney was not compatible, he proposed a novel solution. Stephen donated one of the kidney to the stronger her son would move to the stop of the kidney waiting less. The mother accepted the deal and what's this? Soon, two patients had a transplant they were waiting for. Inequity of the doctor proposal of the nobility of the mothers are act cannot be doubted, but the story raises some intriguing questions. If the mother could trade a kidney for a kidney, would the hospital allow her to trade a kidney for an expensive experimental cancer treatment that could not otherwise afford? Should she be allowed to exchange her kidney for free tuition for her son at the hospital medical school? Should she be able, whoa, sir, sell her kidney so she can use the cash to trade in her old chibi for a new Lexus. As a mother of a public policy of society makes it illegal for people to sell their organs and exceeds the market for organs, government has imposed uh, their exposed on organs and government impose a price or balance of zero and wait and results with unbuilding price selling is a shortage of the good. The deal of the Stephen case did not fall under the prohibition because no. So that's all. And sa masabtan lang sa story din siya no. Sa last nga ay saka ginikanan saka mama nga nagbaligya sa iyang kidney para makakuan sa iyang anak. Instead, ang kwadra is baligya niya para nasay ipalit sa iyang gusto. No, and this is illegal nga mamaligya tag organs. No, remember, dili pwede mamaligya og organs. Pwede lang og kung kanang kinahanglan transplant nga kanang gamiton jud pero na gani mga procedure na dili ta magpataka og balik sa organs kay gihatag na sa Ginoo gipakulmar na sa Ginoo dili ginato So unta nasabtan sir, sorry kayo sa akong discussion kay karon pa ko nakabasa wa kay ko nakaton kay busy kayo, sorry sir, and I hope na nasabtan lang unta ang akong discussion kay ako kay gamay na pa ako nasabtan pero I try my best, no, and that's all. Thank you sir, thank you, and God bless and advance Merry Christmas and advance Happy New Year. Bye bye.